just to make sure it's airtight, so the U.S. was in no way involved in terms of supporting this operation, offering intelligence. In no way was the U.S.
Correct.
involved. Okay, and no part of the U.S. government, I understand you speak only for this department, but such disclaimers have been offered from state before. You were not given a heads up.
We were not aware of this incident. No. Go ahead. I'll come to you, Saad.
I know that you don't want to comment on what's happening, but till now the figures, we don't know the accurate figures of what happened in Lebanon. Some are talking about 3,000s, 4,000s. We have civilians, and there also the Iranian ambassador, also sons of members of parliament from Hezbollah blocs. The question, do you think that this is a legitimate target for any party to do that, whether it's Israel or someone else? Because there are Hezbollah targets in this, if it's attack or incident or whatever you want to call it.
So let me not comment with respect to this specific incident in answering the question, only because there are a lot of reports out that in many cases are not yet confirmed. And as you well know, sometimes in the early hours, the reporting you see in the early hours tends to be somewhat off the mark. It gets supplemented with additional facts as time goes on. So I will just say what we believe are legitimate targets and what are not legitimate targets. Obviously, we believe that civilians are not legitimate targets for any type of operation, and that no country should be targeting civilians. No country nor organization should be targeting civilians. Members of a terrorist organization are legitimate targets for countries to launch operations against. And those are the principles that we hold ourselves to, and those are the principles we expect other countries to uphold in their operations.
Okay, so let me take you back to the legitimacy of targets and so on. Yesterday, a group of settlers attacked a school in Jericho. They beat up the students, they broke their bones, they beat up the teachers and so on. Are they a legitimate target? Should they be a legitimate target by the same kind of definition in which you have defined the other targets?
Are civilians who the settlers attacking legitimate targets? Absolutely not.
No, I'm saying the settlers who have attacked the civilians.
The settlers should be.
Should the settlers be a legitimate target?
The settlers should be held accountable through law enforcement means. Not through any type of extrajudicial process or military process. They should be held account by law enforcement, which is what we would say about any type of violent attacks on individuals. That the law enforcement ought to hold them accountable to the full extent of the law.
Although they do take the law into their own hand time and time again, very violently.
Absolutely, which is why we believe they should be held accountable. And as you've seen the United States make clear through our own actions, if and when Israel does not step up and hold people accountable, we will do so ourselves.
I know that you can, in years past, you designated the Kahana group as a terrorist organization. Should, armed settlers like this, that you keep sanctioning and so on, be also named as terrorist organizations?
I'm not going to speak to any type of designations before we would make that any such determination, but we will continue to hold extremist settlers accountable for violent actions.